Are we going to be more or less secure now we're outside of the European Union? I mean, it's a huge issue and we've barely talked about it. So just finally, what are your thoughts on our security position and what the big challenges are going to be?
Yeah, well, I mean, Priti Patel's position is that the UK is going to be more secure post-Brexit. I may be slightly more cautious and argue that exiting the European Union may affect our security. So with that qualifier, it may, it also may not. The trouble also being this idea of causation. Any potential security incident that we experience in the future, it's going to be hard to unequivocally state that this was due to Brexit. So we have to be a little bit cautious. I don't think we can say one way or the other whether it's definitely going to affect our security. What I would say is it's definitely going to make certain aspects of our security more challenging and more time consuming. So on the policing and intelligence front, for example, the UK has lost its membership of Europol, Eurojust, and also the European arrest warrant. And we're no longer going to have access to real-time data through different systems like the Schengen Information System 2. So you might see that written as SIS2. And yeah, so the process really is going to be a little bit more long-winded. And this is particularly risky in an area when time really is of the essence, in particularly policing and intelligence. But again, to be slightly more optimistic, the UK has its own world-class policing and intelligence capabilities. And we haven't necessarily been overly reliant on the intelligence of our partners in the past. We can rely on the security services in the United Kingdom and their ability to sort of keep the country safe. So I wouldn't say Brexit inherently undermines our security in that space, but it does make it slightly more tricky. Through the sort of relationships that we now need to sort of build with the European Union. I would also say on the defence and military aspect, that's still going to be achieved through NATO. And Britain is a key member of NATO due to its active foreign policy, capable military, and also its nuclear deterrent. So the UK really is, for the West in broad terms, is still a key partner in terms of Western security and defence. But the trouble is actually with the European Union, a lot of these things like negotiations with Russia actually fell outside of the NATO framework, and actually negotiations with Russia took place within the European Union framework. Yeah, you mentioned the defence review as well. So this obviously was supposed to have been published in 2020. And obviously, due to COVID, it's been delayed, but we're expecting it imminently. And it's being called the integrated review. So essentially, this is a really important point, actually, when it comes to Britain's future strategy, because it's about integration of all of the levers of Whitehall, all of the organs of state, civil and military. And I think what this post-Brexit era means for the United Kingdom is a transition from security, a clear delineation between the lines of security being intelligence in one space and military in another and civil forces in another. Instead, everything's coming together as one. And I think in that sense, if it can be achieved, and if there's an effective mechanism that's devised for actually smoothly integrating all of these levers of Whitehall, then we actually have a lot of cause for optimism for the security of the United Kingdom in the future. So I would say that Brexit, while it does pose some challenges, has also afforded several opportunities for the United Kingdom to actually carve out a new and more agile strategy for defence and security in the future.